The startup behind the AI programming tool Cursor has reportedly hit a $9 billion valuation, a sign of just how quickly AI-first coding or vibe coding is growing in Silicon Valley. Kate Rooney has more on the trend in today's Tech Check. I love this story, Kate.
Carl, yeah, we're hearing more of that term, vibe coding. And we're also finding out and seeing more evidence that one of AI's emerging superpowers right now is writing software and writing code. That has been on display lately with the rise of Cursor, which you mentioned. It's an AI tool that helps engineers outsource coding to artificial intelligence, and it's driving some of the latest mega valuations we're seeing in Silicon Valley. We saw the Cursor news as well. Mega cap companies like Microsoft and Meta are also jumping in on this trend. They're talking a lot more about it. Out here in the Valley, they do call it vibe coding. So it's essentially a way to write code more casually, quickly. You put in a text prompt about what you actually want to build, and you go by the feel or the vibe instead of necessarily having to write every line of code and know those complicated coding languages. It also lowers the barrier to writing all of this code. It makes it easier to build an app or a feature without really knowing these coding languages. So the bar is coming down overall. Startups have been on the front lines using this. Those I talk to say it's making them leaner. It's making them more profitable at the early stages. They don't need to hire as many engineers. And just last week, we got even more evidence that it is happening for big tech, too. So Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella saying right now that AI is writing 30% of their code. Mark Zuckerberg at Meta said it's going to be writing as much as half, 50% of code at Meta within the next year. Amazon has told me something similar. It's writing about a third of their code. And it's not just big tech. Visa's CEO even said last week and told me that the payments giant is using AI for coding in the same range. He said it's about 30%. And despite all the talk about productivity, we didn't see any evidence of this starting to flow through to the bottom line, at least this earnings season so far. Nobody's talking about what it meant for profitability. Analysts tell me it's going to help these companies roll out products more quickly. We're going to see it more on productivity, less on profitability. AI is going to be able to handle some of the easier coding jobs. We're now leaving those higher priority tasks to the human engineers. Companies may still need to hire fewer engineers. And as a result, there is some anxiety I'm hearing from the tech labor force around it. Although in the near term, AI-related software job postings are actually up month over month, about 10% of total software jobs out there, according to Aura Intelligence, guys.
That's interesting, although you have to wonder what young software engineering graduates are thinking at the moment, Kate. I am curious, when it comes to the early stage slide deck, does this mean they get profitable faster, or is it simply about initiating that code faster?
That's what we're hearing. So we were at the Y Combinator demo day, which is about the earliest stage you can get in. It's the seed stage. These companies are saying, we're building teams and building companies with 5 people, whereas think about even 2 years ago, they would have needed to hire 50 people at this stage. So it's making them leaner, not quite profitable or breaking even yet, but they're able to grow more quickly, compete at a different level, and overall lowering the bar. You don't need to be as technical of a person to actually be able to code, which has opened up this ability to build new apps. And there's other software applications that say basically you can just tell something, hey, I want to build a new CNBC app. You just verbally speak it. And it's just mind-blowing what it can do. And even in the month that since we started reporting on this, it's changed drastically. The folks at YC were saying it changes every day, and the features that they're able to use didn't even exist a year ago. So this is like dog years in tech.